Hello, YouTubers. Welcome back to Yorkshire Media. I am Mark, your host, your presenter, whatever you want me to be. Yes, I am cheaper and better than the BBC. I'm here to entertain you and bring you, well, the facts and figures and things like that. So what are we talking about today on Sunday Talk? Well, Sunday Talk today is what is net zero? So what is net zero? So what is the value of net zero, basically? Well, you're going to hear it here. Climate change is an investment risk. We believe that companies urgently need to transform their business models to collectively avoid the most catastrophic effects of climate change. There is no, well, I'll get this out of the way. Yeah, climate change does happen on a natural basis. So we know climate change does happen. I'm not a climate denier. What I'm saying is there is no climate emergency, crisis, or global warming. You can tell just by looking outside and things like that. You know what I mean? And don't go, yeah, oh well, what planet's no, the planet's not on fire. To climate change on people and the planet, and adopt to a future temperature rises. That's why we engage our investee companies to work out the most authority distribution plan for the business, decarbonation plan for the businesses models. We believe there is a value in following a net zero by 2050 trajectory plan that contributes to the future-proofing companies by helping them to manage risk, capture opportunities, and potentially deliver improved business performance. Our company response to the changes of climate change could be the key to its bottom line. For companies already on track to reach net zero, we are continuing to engage vote shareholders on holding them accountable for making meaningful changes and progress. Well, that's just one way that you can look at it. Yeah, so net zero is what they're chasing. They need to be by net zero by 2050. Well, that's never going to happen. They're never going to stop carbon. They're never going to stop the carbon monoxide and ultrafilament oxide and things like that. That's not going to happen. It's never going to stop. Carbon monoxide is the building blocks to life. That's what we survive on. Carbon monoxide, we breathe in fresh air and take out the good and breathe out the bad. So, when they're talking about carbon and net zero, they mean net zero, which will never happen. You can't go net zero. It's an impossibility. And that, because you would be killing everybody on planet, basically. And that's what you'd be doing. You'd be killing everybody on planet. And this is what they don't believe. This is what it's basically wrong, in my opinion. This is what they're basically saying. Yeah, I think they've got it wrong myself, but there you go. So you've read it for yourself that they need to net zero emissions. Trusted route to net zero now. How to be net zero sustainability strategy. Net zero is a noun, a target of completely negating the amount of greenhouse gases produced by human activity to be achieved by reducing emissions, implementing methods and absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Global net emissions carbon dioxide will need to fall to net zero by 2050. It's a lot of rubbish. It's never going to happen. It's a pipe dream, basically. What does net zero mean? Well, put simply, net zero refers to a balancing between the amount of greenhouse gases and that produced and the amount that's removed from the atmosphere. It can be achieved through carbonation of emissions reduction and emission removal. What does what what is UK net zero? Well, what is the net zero target? The net zero target is refers a government commitment to ensure that the UK reduces greenhouse gases emissions by 100% from 1990 levels by 2050. That means we're all dead, by the way. They want to reduce carbon 100%. That means everyone, planet's gonna die. Trust me. What is an example of net zero? What did the UK commit to net zero? Well, we committed to net zero. That's a good one. When did the UK commit to net zero? Net zero target in 2019. The UK government legislated a net zero emissions target in 2021. The government set 2 additional interim targets to run net zero system and reduce emissions by 78% by 2035. That will happen. So you can see where they're going with all this. I mean, it's all bunk in any case. It's all stupid and silly and things like that. But net zero is net zero. This will be, which country will be net zero first? Despite being the top 20 biggest polluter 2020, the UK is the second most prepared country to reach net zero emissions by a study by Bidder finds that the UK actually ranks second globally in ability to achieve its net zero emissions target, with the top achiever first being Norway. So it looks like Norway's going to be. But yeah, so there you go. There's your net zero. That's what net zero is. I've given you some indication. I've done a lot of research on this, and it's still a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. I mean, we're carbon ourselves. You know what I mean? If they continue down the path and you know, it is in black and white there that they want to reach 100% net carbon, no carbon on planet. Life on this planet is going to be horrendous. You know what I mean? These kind of legislations and policies and things like that, they need to be scrapped. You need to get to realistic and things like that. Yeah, I mean, and being realistic, you know, doing what the government doing right now, trying to reach all this because of climate change and everything. They're spending millions of pounds on it for a problem what does not exist. There is no problem. Yeah, there is no reason for this crap. There is no reason to bankrupt, and this is what it's doing. There is no reason to bankrupt this country like they are by chasing a pipe dream, and that's what net zero is. They're chasing a pipe dream. No country will ever reach net zero. It'll never happen. I tell you that. It'll never happen. So there you go. So the net zero is a load of rubbish. It's a pipe dream, and it's Boris Johnson's pipe dream as well. And Conservative Party are just following down the same path. They need to stop it. They need to you know think about it, because they are on their way to bankrupting our country completely, and it won't be recoverable neither if they keep going down this path. So that's my thoughts on it. Yes, I know it's only a short thing, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and they're my thoughts on it. It's impossible to go net zero. It really is. They shouldn't be chasing all this, and they shouldn't be saying, "Oh well, net zero, net." And if you've got any doubts, they do blame humans for this as well. It's our fault, but it's not our fault. It's no one's fault. It is the way it is. I mean, Germany's not going to follow the net zero because they're going back to coal, which is the correct thing for them. That's what they're dismantling all their wind farms and things like that, and going back to coal. And that's what we need to do. We need to go back to digging our own coal, stop the importation of gas and coal. We need to frack. We need to do this for ourselves so our country can become independent and away from other countries, basically. Yes, we want to do trade deals with other countries, obviously, but we don't need to rely on them for our energy, i.e. Russia. We don't need to rely on anything like that at all. Not when we can do it ourselves, and not when we've got mining engineers what can do this a lot better than what they can in Europe. So we've got the basis. We've got black gold under our feet. That's what I think we should return back to coal mining, underground, getting our own coal and energy and things like that. Yeah, I mean, and go from there. This government is not a Conservative government. If anyone thinks that Rishi Sunak's government is true Conservative, it isn't. I'm going to give you a shock. The very last time you had a true Conservative government was under Margaret Thatcher. I know people hate Margaret Thatcher, but that's when it was. That's the last time they had a proper Conservative party. When John Major took over from Margaret Thatcher, that's when the Conservative Party became as it is now, nothing. These are, what the Conservatives are doing and what Labour Party is doing as well. These are not the Conservative or Labour Party's way of doing things. It's all wrong, and they're out for the rich. And Conservatives are now socialists. It's the same as the stupid Labour Party. So like I'm saying, this net zero policy or reaching net zero by 2050, I think it's a pipe dream. It won't happen. It will definitely not happen. And think about it. We are carbon as well, so I mean, if you take all the carbon monoxide out of the atmosphere, our trees, plants, vegetables will not grow. It's as simple as that. Right, if you've liked that video, please give me a thumbs up. Please like the video. Please, 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 please consider subscribing to the channel. It does help my channel. Please consider subscribing, hit the bell icon, it all. That will let you know when I'm uploading another video. Also, share the video to your friends and your family and to other social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and go down below and into the comments and let's see how many sensible people, react to this. Because it is sensible. I mean, net zero is net zero. Oh, what you've heard there is, oh yeah, it's achievable. At what cost is it achievable though? It's going to make us poor. It's going to make us, and I will say this, we continue down this path, we will become a third world country. Trust me on that. We need to get this country back on its feet and more sustainable, but we need to do it sensibly. We don't need to chase all these net zero policies and shit like that. Get rid of them. We need to get rid. And difficult decisions are coming up. I'll tell you. Catch you on the next video. Bye for now. Catch you all later.